Alex Albon is a fighter. Having been a Red Bull driver on and off the track since 2008, he knows what it feels like to have pressure. Fail to deliver and you get the dreaded phone call from their motorsport advisor Helmut Marko telling you it's basically game over. Now, Albon is also a rarity. Last year, he became the first Red Bull family driver to get a second "it's not us, it's you" call from Marko, which dropped him from his race seat for the second time. And this one really kind of hurt more for Albon, whereas the first time he knew his results weren't good enough after his season in 2012. The second time around, he had tasted the sweet nectar of Formula One and with a team capable of winning races no less, and he felt he hadn't had enough time to actually prove himself. Many would have called it quits at this point. After all, Formula One is a very competitive business with only 20 seats in the world. How many drivers get a third chance? Well, Albon, though, was stubbornly refusing to simply let it go. It's arguably his greatest strength, that ironclad resilience and something of a hidden trait that is masked by an unassuming, gentle, and somewhat shy exterior that makes him one of the most likable people in the paddock. This is actually something I was even telling my significant other the other day in regards to why Alex Albon is really very special in the Formula One community and why so many of us do rally behind him. Now, Red Bull aren't known for their long fuses, but in Albon's case, they've obviously made an exception. It was partly circumstances as they had unknown quantities in rookie Yuki Tsunoda and to an extent Sergio Perez, as he hadn't competed in a top team despite shining in the midfield. So Albon, just having been kept around just in case, obviously made sense. Alex Albon was kept informed by the progress of Red Bull, and the tension built as the uncertainty continued into the 2021 summer break. Mostly it was just about keeping your head down, he says. People's opinions, things like that, you just can't control them. You can control what you're doing, and that for me was being involved as much as I can with the team, doing the best job I could do off the track. Alex Albon goes on to say it's hard to prove yourself when you're not driving the car, but at least on that side, cover all your bases. Once Valtteri Bottas and George Russell were moving around, it started to spice up the market a bit, and obviously there was an opportunity. Now, when Alex Albon got the good kind of call from Red Bull on Monday, 2 days before it was officially announced, a weight he had been carrying around for months and which had increased around July when it became clear there was a realistic chance of him joining Williams, instantly evaporated. He went on to say, "It's been tough. When you've been in F1 and you're at the racetracks watching it, not driving, but just being there, it's tricky to sit there and simply relax. I got better at it during the year. At the first race, it was torture, but I got into the rhythm of it. If anything, it increased my desire to be back on the grid, not just for friends and family, but also the fans and everyone who has supported me and motivated me and kept me going to that seat." Red Bull's long-held ruthless persona had softened. They get a bad rep a lot, Alex Albon says, but at the end of the day, they've been extremely helpful. They've helped me talk with Williams and get all the stuff sorted out. It's nice to feel that trust and believe in me. I owe them a lot, and I will continue to do so. I've been with Red Bull since 2008, so it's been a while. And even though Albon had a lot of people pushing for him, including his friend George Russell, who went on a charm offensive with the Williams board and campaigned for Albon to actually get his seat should he sign with Mercedes. So that, again, just goes to show you the great friendship and relationship between Alex Albon and George Russell. The fact that George really kind of put himself out there to say, hey, if Mercedes does end up coming in to sweep me away, essentially, you really should give Alex Albon a shot. He's a great driver. He's been putting in great time, great hours in Red Bull simulation programs as well as this year's reserve driver, and he definitely deserves another seat on the grid. So hats off to George Russell for obviously putting himself out there to get Alex Albon back into F1 and to essentially replace him at Williams in 2021. Alex Albon goes on to say he doesn't think that George Russell did any PowerPoint presentations for me on his behalf, but I know from the people at Williams, from the board and everyone, that he was pushing quite hard to get me in that seat. So I owe him a few beers, that's for sure, but also just him moving out of that seat helped me. I owe him one. Alex Albon says his focus for the rest of 2021 is Red Bull and doing what he can behind the scenes back at base to bring the World Championship back to Milton Keynes for the first time since 2013. But then it's full steam ahead on his new project with Williams going into the 2022 season with a new regulation. And last but not least, to close out today's video, Alex Albon goes on to say, there's still a championship to win over here, so we're pushing flat out, and I'm in the simulator a lot. But at the same point on my side, getting fit, getting ready, getting my eye in for next year, getting to know the faces over at Williams, but at the same time bringing us home a championship and a win hopefully for Red Bull. So Alex Albon seems to be completely zeroed in, focused, and I truly believe in 2022 season, with how the Williams has seemed to be one of the best developing, I would say, lower to mid-tier cars this season, with George Russell and Nicholas Latifi both having solid results throughout most of the season. I think Alex Albon is going to have a really good year with Williams in the 2022 season. I do expect him to finish in the points. Now, do I expect this every race? Maybe, maybe not. But I would say do not be surprised if you find Alex Albon somehow finding a way to get that Williams into the top 10 in some races in 2022. I think he has the race pace. His quality hasn't always been great, but I think with more development as he's been doing, I think he'll be really dialed in, and hopefully if that Williams continues to improve, then there's really no reason to think that Alex Albon can't put it into the top 10. George Russell has been able to do that this year, another great talent, so Alex Albon should be able to do something very similar. You guys let me know your thoughts in regards to this discussion in the comment section below. How well do you think Alex Albon will do in 2022? Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you are new for daily and weekly Formula One discussion content. Unfortunately, that is all the time I have for you guys today, but I will see you all later. Goodbye.